Travel connects us to the past in ways that are both profound and deeply personal. While books and documentaries can teach us facts, standing in the very places where history unfolded brings a new level of understanding. Some destinations are simply beautiful, while others challenge us to reflect on humanity's darkest chapters. Cape Coast Castle in Ghana is both breathtaking and sobering. Its whitewashed walls gleam against the endless blue of the Atlantic, a striking sight that belies the immense suffering once contained within these walls. For centuries, this castle was a major hub of the transatlantic slave trade. It was here that countless Africans saw their homeland for the last time, forced through the infamous door of no return. Walking its grounds, you can almost feel the echoes of the past. Every stone, every corridor carries the weight of stories that must never be forgotten. This is not just a tour, but a powerful lesson in humanity and resilience. Reading about the slave trade is one thing. Standing in the dungeons where men, women, and children were imprisoned is something else entirely. The reality becomes heartbreakingly tangible. The air in these dim corridors seems to echo with the whispers, cries, and hopes of those who passed through. It's a haunting reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. We travel not just to see new places, but to feel, to remember, and to understand the experiences that have shaped our world. Join me as we explore Cape Coast Castle, its architecture, its stories, and the ways Ghanaians honor this painful past while building a future filled with hope and dignity. This visit is difficult, but it is necessary. Facing this history together helps us grow in empathy and resolve. By remembering, we honor those who suffered and take steps toward building a more just and compassionate world for all. Ghana's coastline is alive with color and tradition. Fishing boats bob in the surf, palm trees sway in the breeze, and the air is filled with the sounds of bustling coastal towns. Here, the Atlantic Ocean is not just a boundary, but a lifeline, shaping the rhythms of daily life and connecting generations of families to the sea. The coast is a place of laughter, hard work, and community, where the ocean's bounty sustains both body and spirit. Amid this vibrancy stands Cape Coast Castle, its whitewashed walls and silent cannons a stark contrast to the lively scene below. The castle rises above the shoreline, a silent witness to centuries of change, its presence both commanding and somber. Built by European powers to control trade routes and resources, the castle's imposing structure dominates the landscape, visible from nearly every corner of the town. Its thick walls and strategic positions speak to its original purpose: to oversee and control the flow of goods and people along the coast. It was never meant to protect the local population, but rather to control and profit from them. The cannons and fortifications were aimed outward, but the real power was exercised within, as the castle became a center for the transatlantic slave trade. Today the town lives in its shadow. Children play soccer in the sand, vendors sell fresh fruit and handmade crafts, and daily life unfolds beside this monument to pain and resilience. The castle looms over the community, a constant presence in the background of ordinary moments. The castle is woven into the fabric of daily life, a constant reminder of a difficult past that still shapes the present. Locals pass by its gates on their way to work or school, its silhouette ever present against the sky. As you approach, the sounds of the town gradually fade, replaced by the rhythmic crash of waves against the shore, a timeless backdrop to centuries of history. The ocean's voice is ever present, echoing the stories of those who passed through these walls. The ocean brought both traders and captives. Its presence is mournful and cleansing, a symbol of both loss and hope. Standing at the ramparts, you can almost feel the weight of history carried on the sea breeze. The same waves that once carried away millions of souls now echo with memory, their endless motion a reminder of journeys that began here and changed the world forever. Here, past and present collide, making the experience of visiting Cape Coast Castle both powerful and complex. Visitors reflect on the site's history, while locals continue to build new memories in its shadow. The castle's story is inseparable from the life that surrounds it, a place where the ocean meets history, and where the echoes of the past shape the present and future. Cape Coast Castle's history is one of shifting empires and a singular, brutal purpose. Built by Swedes, expanded by Dutch, seized by the British, it became a symbol of European power. Gold and ivory were traded here, but soon human lives became the main commodity. The castle's architecture reflects this. Luxury above, dungeons below. Captives were marched for weeks, then imprisoned in darkness, stripped of identity and hope. Families were torn apart, people reduced to numbers in a ledger. Millions passed through these gates, processed like cargo. Standing on the ramparts, you see where ships arrived empty and left full of human lives. The castle is a chilling reminder that this was a vast, organized enterprise, not just the work of a few. Its stones force us to confront the scale and complicity of nations in this atrocity. Descending into the slave dungeons is an experience that defies preparation. The darkness is suffocating, the air heavy, the floor a grim mix of centuries-old filth. Up to 1,000 men were crammed here, enduring disease, starvation, and despair. The female and children's dungeons were smaller but equally horrific. Women faced not just filth but constant threat of abuse. A secret passage from the governor's quarters to the female dungeon reveals the depth of cruelty. Touching the walls, you sense the desperation and resilience of those imprisoned. Leaving the dungeons for sunlight is jarring. The privilege of fresh air never felt so stark. The suffering here was systematic, the dehumanization total. The echoes of pain linger, compelling us to remember this was not just a fortress, but a place where humanity was stripped away. Bearing witness is a responsibility we cannot ignore. The true impact of Cape Coast Castle lies in imagining the lives behind the numbers. Picture a young man, a farmer or musician, torn from his village and family, his identity erased. Imagine a mother separated from her children, enduring darkness and abuse yet finding ways to comfort others. Even in horror, small acts of kindness and resistance persisted, sharing food, singing songs, holding on to memories. There were revolts like Taki's uprising and quieter forms of defiance, refusing to eat, preserving culture in whispers. These stories reveal not just pain, but resilience. The castle's walls hold memories of both suffering and strength. By imagining these individuals, we move beyond statistics to honor real people. They were not anonymous victims, but individuals who loved, dreamed, and fought to survive. Their spirit endures, a testament to the unbreakable will to live and be free. Remembering them gives meaning to our visit. Their humanity must never be forgotten. Emerging from the suffocating darkness of the dungeons, you find yourself before the door of no return, a final, irreversible threshold to the unknown. The heavy air is thick with the memories of those who passed through, their footsteps echoing in the stone corridors. Here, the past feels painfully close, as if the walls themselves remember every story of loss and longing. For millions of enslaved Africans, this was the last sight of their homeland, the vast Atlantic stretching endlessly before them, marking the beginning of a forced journey into bondage. The ocean, both beautiful and merciless, became a barrier between worlds, a witness to unimaginable suffering. The waves beyond the door seemed to carry the voices of the past, their constant rhythm echoing with centuries of loss, longing, and unanswered prayers. Each crash against the rocks is a reminder of lives uprooted and destinies forever altered. Standing here, you can almost feel the weight of history pressing down, the sorrow of families torn apart, cultures disrupted, and futures stolen. The silence is profound, inviting reflection and empathy for those whose lives were changed forever. Yet today the door bears a new inscription, Door of Return. This simple but powerful change marks a shift in meaning, inviting descendants and visitors to reclaim a space once defined by exile. The act of renaming reclaims the narrative, transforming a symbol of despair into one of homecoming and renewal. It is a gesture of healing, a way to honor those lost while welcoming back their descendants. For the African diaspora, returning through this door is a deeply emotional act, a journey of reconnection, remembrance, and affirmation of identity. It is a moment to honor ancestors and to find belonging in a place once marked by separation. The transformation from no return to return stands as a testament to resilience, hope, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Sunlight now streams through the doorway, illuminating a path toward healing. This place acknowledges the pain of the past, but also creates a new legacy, one of remembrance, reconciliation, and the possibility of a brighter future. The door now stands as a powerful symbol, representing both the immense loss endured and the ongoing journey toward healing and unity. Visiting this site is more than a lesson in history, it is a journey through sorrow, inspiration, and the enduring will to remember and rebuild. The Door of Return reminds us that history's symbols can be reclaimed and redefined, offering hope and connection for generations to come. Visiting Cape Coast Castle is an active confrontation with a painful past. Local guides, often descendants of those affected, share stories with honesty and emotion. They challenge visitors to reflect on their own connection to this history. For some, it's a pilgrimage, for others, a reckoning. The guides create space for empathy and shared responsibility. In the castle's church, directly above the dungeons, you're asked to stomp your feet, reminding you of the suffering below as hymns were sung above. This stark contrast exposes the moral blindness of the past. The visit isn't about guilt, but understanding and empathy. It forces us to question, reflect, and confront uncomfortable truths. You leave with a heavier, more nuanced understanding, a necessary burden for change. Cape Coast Castle is not just a monument to pain, but a symbol of Ghana's resilience and hope. Ghanaians have preserved it as a UNESCO site, a classroom for the world. Remembrance is the first step toward healing and preventing future atrocities. The spirit of resilience is seen in Ghana's vibrant culture and welcoming people. Initiatives like the Year of Return invite the diaspora to reconnect, forging unity and new narratives. Education is central. School children visit, learning their history firsthand. By teaching the past, Ghanaians empower the next generation to build a just world. The castle stands as both a tomb and a beacon. Even from deep sorrow, a future of dignity and hope can be built. This message of resilience is the most important souvenir you'll take away. My journey to Cape Coast Castle left a lasting mark. Its lessons are not just about the past, but about our world today. Power, prejudice, and the dignity of every person. Travel should make us better, more empathetic global citizens. Visiting places like this challenges us to confront uncomfortable truths and see our shared history. If you can't visit, seek out these stories. Read, watch, listen, and support education. By learning and sharing, we keep the memory of millions alive. Let's connect with this history not as distant observers, but with open hearts. Honor those who suffered by working for justice and equality. The echoes in the dungeons are a call to remember and ensure such doors never open again. Let's keep the conversation going.